A very good morning and welcome to Breakfast News on Channel 1 MTV. We start off with a look at today's headlines. The election to elect office bearers to the UNP to be held today. Teachers associations expressed their displeasure regarding the contradicting views expressed with regards to the release of advanced level results. Kazakhstan president declares a 20-day state of emergency. Now for those stories in detail, the election to elect office bearers to the United National Party will be held today. United National Party General Secretary Tissa Attanayake stated that office bearers will be elected for the post of party leader, deputy leader and national organizer. He added that the working committee will gather this afternoon together with the parliamentary group committee and an election will be held. Well, the Lanka Teachers Association expressed their displeasure with regard to the contradicting statements made by the Ministers of Education regarding the release date of the GCE Advanced Level results. Its Chief Secretary Joseph Stalin noted that the people are amazed by the separate views expressed by the ministers on the same matter.
On the 11th of this month, Deputy Minister of Education Gamini Vijit Vijayamani Soisa stated that the release of advanced level examination results will be delayed by 3 weeks. However, Minister of Education Bandula Gunamardana stated on the 17th in Parliament that the results will be released within the course of this week. Meanwhile, Minister of Higher Education S.B. Dissanayake noted on last Friday that GCE Advanced Level Examination results will be released today. However, even though it has been 10 days since the third semester of the school year had concluded, the results are yet to be released. Meanwhile, we made inquiries from the Commissioner General of Examinations Anura Edurasinghe with regard to when the results will be released. He stated that he cannot comment on the release date.
Well, Sri Lankan Ambassador to France Dan Jalathilaka says that certain international human rights organizations have expressed contradictory statements regarding the report on the Lessons Learned and Reconciliation Commission. He noted that several international human rights groups are currently issuing various statements concerning the LLRC report through the internet.
It is, of course, entirely too early to expect a response from the international community, though there have been responses from some international human rights organizations such as Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International. There too, there's an interesting discrepancy or unevenness in the response. Amnesty International's Sam Zarifi, who has been a very sharp and uncompromising critic of Sri Lanka, seems to recognize some merit in the LLRC report, and he has made some significant remarks commenting on the proposals of the LLRC report. The Human Rights Watch, on the other hand, has been a little more militant and seems to have rejected the report out of hand. Now, I don't see whether they even have the time to read the report in its entirety, but still, they have taken a very negative approach. I think that the report is enormously valuable. It takes a middle path. It's a very balanced report. It does not hand out certificates to any side. It doesn't whitewash anyone. It has striven to examine all the matters under review with great professionalism. So I would say it's a very serious report and deserves careful scrutiny by the Sri Lankan citizenry and the Sri Lankan mass media as well as the international community. It has to be taken very seriously. I think it's a very positive contribution because it fills a center space that has been absent in the discourse within Sri Lanka and outside of Sri Lanka concerning Sri Lankan affairs. Now, I think this center space or this middle ground has now been occupied by this very serious and very professional report of the Lessons Learned and Reconciliation Commission.
Well, meanwhile, several legal analysts in the country have expressed their displeasure over some of the statements made by this international human rights organization. A former secretary of the Sri Lankan Bar Association, Attorney at Law, Yordi Silva, shared these views with News First.
In this report, the Commission has given their views about the evidence they have collected from various people and various organizations. So what we have to do is we have to go through the report fully, and then if we are not satisfied, we can make our suggestions or comments. Otherwise, we can say what steps they have taken, and if there are any good things, we can comment on that. But at the moment, I think the way some people have commented on that, making comments are unnecessary and unwanted because sometimes they might have not gone through the whole report and come to a conclusion. So what we should do is we should go through the whole report and see whether they have come to some conclusions correctly or not. So that is how we should do. Earlier also, with regard to the Danusman report, people have criticized and various things about the government without going through the report. So when we go through the report, we found that it is not a correct way of expressing their ideas. So that is why we actually condemn that report. So if you are going to do something, you have to go through the whole report and make your comments. So that is how we should do. So by not going through the report, if you are making any comment, it is wrong.
Well, the Dean of the Faculty of Law at the Kotlawal Defence University, Dr. Pratibha Mahanamahiwa, said that they reject such statements made by various human rights groups without properly examining the LLRC report. However, the Minister of External Affairs says that steps are being taken to educate the international community through embassies. The report of the President's Commission on Lessons Learned and Reconciliation was presented in Parliament last Friday. The report, that consists of 388 pages, also includes another 375 pages attachment. Well, parliamentarian Venerable Athuraliya Ratanathera says that there is a risk of foreign institutions controlling the country's main necessities. Athera expressed this view at the Jataka Heliurum Colombo District Summit.
Today power plants commenced in Sampur and Norachole. Who does these power plants belong to? There is a problem. In the end, our farming activities will be controlled by these foreign institutions. And in the future, even our education will be controlled by them. There is a risk of foreign companies deciding if there should be electricity in the country or not. Sometimes people might think that they would have been better off under Prabhakaran.
සමහර වෙලාවට මිනිස්සුන්ට හිතෙන්න පුළුවන් මීට වැඩිය හොඳයි ප්‍රභාකරන් හිටියනම් කියලා.
But we start off with some cricket news from the local arena. The Anamadu 11 Stars Sports Club won the Puttalam District Championship of the Sirasa FM Cricket Challenge Softball Cricket Tournament, while the Puttalam Sports Club were the runners-up.
125 teams took part in the competition, which was held throughout the weekend at the Harendra Korea grounds in Chilau. AHM Aruna Sampath of the Anamadu 11 Stars Sports Club won the Man of the Match award, while the Player of the Tournament award went to MP Suranga of the Puttalam Sports Club. On the journey to locate pace bowlers with the participation of coaches from Sri Lanka Cricket, a pace bowler who delivers with a speed of 127 km per hour was thus found. He is Samir Roshan by name and represents the Marvilla Six Brothers Sports Club.
Well, with that, we wrap up this edition of Breakfast News. But with the very latest, I'll see you again at 8:55. Until then, take care.